for the having to extend the live stream out 3 different times. We're here. We're going to make sure everybody gets in here. How is everybody doing? Can you guys hear us? It is chaos. I tell you, no, it's chaos, I swear. Guys, we've had a tremendous week. I scared you? I'm sorry, B. I didn't mean to scare you. This must be Central Time. Yes. Hello, Kevin. Hello, Sue Klein, Robert Call. Hello, everyone who is joining us. I will let you guys, first and foremost, know that this is a live stream. You guys can speak with us. We are going to hold off on questions until later on in the stream. I do want to thank everyone for coming in for this live stream. Again, like I said earlier, this is for informational purposes only. News channels can also use this type stuff. Monday was a crazy day. I'll let Lindsay talk about what we're getting ready to discuss, and you know, it's a blessing to have the law enforcement behind us and all of you guys behind us. So with that being said, let's get into it. I already see there's 203 people in here. Thank you guys. So let's let Lindsay talk.
So as you guys have seen, we told you last Thursday that we were going to be heading up north on Sunday to get up to Elgin, Illinois to get settled for the night, and then we were going to be searching for Karen Schepers on Monday. If any of you guys have followed like our posts or updates, anything like that, most of you are aware that Karen has been found. I'll get into that in a moment. So on Monday, we were joined by Mike McFerrin. Many of you guys know him from Kenny Loudermilk's case, from Cashell's case. So you guys are aware of who Mike McFerrin is, an incredibly, exceptionally skilled diver. I'll tell you more about Mike and what he's got going on at the end of this, but I do want to get some of his information out. We were joined by Mike and the 2 detectives, Detective Houghton and Detective Vartanian, from the cold case unit of the Elgin Police Department. The cold case unit was formed last year in May. They really started to get into Karen's case in November. They actually have a podcast called Somebody Knows Something. You can Google it. It'll pop up. I believe it's called Speaker or Spreakerfy, Spotify. I'm not sure if it's on YouTube, but most of your podcast avenues, you guys can listen to the 2 detectives talk about Karen's case. They get into depth with a lot of it. So they reached out to us. We said, yes, we want to come help. We were just kind of waiting for warmer weather. We headed up Sunday night, got in, got everything prepared, met with them on Monday morning. We met with their chief, their commander, multiple other detectives, sergeants. Everyone was involved. But on the boat, it was Jacob, myself, Mike McFerrin, the diver, and the 2 detectives. We began our search off of the Slade Avenue boat ramp on Monday. I think by the time we actually got in the water and started, it was probably around 9:30, 10 o'clock.
About that, yeah.
So in the water, we'll say 10 o'clock. Got everything started. When we went, while I was putting the truck and the trailer up, Jacob kind of started to scan just around, and he had thought he had seen something, but like couldn't really ever like pinpoint anything. We had known or had been told previously that at one point in time there was a car that had went in there. It was a case from long ago. It was a stolen vehicle. From there, we started to search up Fox River in Elgin, Illinois, off of the Slade Avenue boat ramp. We located a vehicle well, we actually went down to Kimball Street first. I apologize. We went down to Kimball Street Bridge first, then started to make our way back up. We did locate a vehicle, Mike, and then between Mike and us and the detectives, we had decided at that time that we weren't going to necessarily dive each vehicle as we found it, like we had previously discussed, only because the weather was really cold. The water was 41 degrees, and we wanted to be able to get Mike in the water and have him do his thing and not have to hop out, get back in, hop out, get back in, that kind of thing. So we decided to kind of break the Fox River up into segments. So we wanted to search up to I-90 and Elgin, got all of that cleared. In coming back, we found an additional vehicle just farther down the river because we wanted to scan and mark everything that we could. So we had found 2 vehicles. Mike dove both of those. He was able to pull parts off of them, but no license plate. The one car was completely in pieces, probably not even able to be removed. But the detectives have all of that information. Like I said, they were on the boat with us. We continued from 90 all the way up to the bridge in East Dundee, Illinois. We searched all of that, started to make our way back. As we were getting up to that car that we had found that was in pieces, Jacob decided to put my sonar back in the water. He's like, I just want to get another look through here. So in doing so, we traveled down. We got to almost in front of the boat ramp, and there was something on the right side of the sonar. My image was a little bit skewed, and Jacob's like, well, let's check it out. Like, we're gonna look. We went over it several times, back and forth, different directions, over it and over it and over it, almost to the point where it was like, what, do we just go ahead and put a magnet down just to kind of see if there's something down there? So when we were kind of trying to figure out like what do we do, Jacob went over the object at the perfect angle, and there was a car upside down in about 7 to 8 feet of water. Mike very quickly got dressed, got in the water, dove down on the vehicle, and came up with Karen's plates. While under there, the visibility is about 4 to 6 inches, if even that, because there were times where Mike said that he was able to get really close to the car, kind of rub on it to see, and he was, I mean, we're talking inches away, and he was able to see that it was yellow. As soon as he saw that yellow, it was kind of like, it doesn't matter if it has a plate, it's coming out. But he was able to locate a plate on the vehicle. He brought it up. Each one of us kind of knew like a different, like I knew her license plate was XP. The detectives knew, like, you know, they knew her whole license plate. But when Mike came up, it was actually upside down and backwards to us. But all of us could see a different part of it. As soon as I saw the XP, I knew. As soon as the detectives saw the last 4 digits of her plate, they knew.
I didn't know.
It was very emotional in that moment to see these detectives who worked so incredibly hard to bring Karen's case back to the forefront of everyone's mind and to utilize searching the water and using sonar as an avenue to be looked at, and to see all of their hard work. I mean, we're talking hundreds of hours in just a few months that these 2 detectives have put into this case. To see all of that come to fruition for them was incredible. There was definitely some emotion on the boat that day. The detectives called it in right away. We decided at that point in time that it was starting to get late. There was no need to pull the vehicle. The temperatures were dropping. We wanted to get Mike out of the water. We wanted to get him warmed up, and we didn't want to just go ahead and start pulling. This car has been under the water for 42 years. So we wanted to have a plan. We wanted to know what was plan A, B, C. What do we do if this happens, if this happens, if this happens? We went back to the command post on Monday. There was an announcement made stating that a vehicle was found matching Karen's vehicle's description. And, you know, it did have her license plate on it. And then we began to work with everyone. What do we do from here? how do we do this? What's the best plan of attack? It was closer, much closer to the West Bank, but there was no access to the West Bank. So we knew we had to go to the East Bank, which is going to be a lot further pull. Everyone was kind of involved. We decided to meet again Tuesday morning. I think we got there shortly after 8 o'clock, and the tow truck company, Redmond's Towing, they showed up. They worked with us and the divers and everything. Elgin Fire Department was gracious enough to utilize 2 of their divers as well as 2 of their boats. So that way, if Mike needed a break or he needed to get out of the water or anything like that, everything was good. So Tuesday, we were able to, everybody was back in the water, back down to Slade boat ramp. Mike went down and did another assessment of the vehicle. We already had an idea that from what we believed, and again, from Mike kind of no-viz diving, just feeling, believed that it was the back, so it was a hatchback, but that window that's in the hatch was broken out. So Mike did his assessment. The fire department sent down one of their divers, I believe his name was Evan. He went down, also did an assessment on the vehicle. They came back up independently of each other and gave the same description. Both thought it was that back window. Both gave us which way they thought the vehicle was going. And from there, we began the rigging process. We knew what we needed to do, got the vehicle rigged up. Redmond's was there on scene. The fire department was amazing in helping us get like the tow lines out, helping with whatever we needed. They were really great. We did get her vehicle removed from the water. It was a I don't want to say slow process, because once everything was prepared, we got it out quickly, but we were very meticulous on how everything happened. We were trying to be as precise as possible, as delicate as possible. Again, this vehicle has been under the water for 42 years. So even though it was, a steel vehicle in the 80s made to last, and the divers were, felt confident in the structural integrity of the vehicle under the water, what's going to happen once it starts to get pulled? What's going to happen once it starts to come out of the water and meets the air? So, needless to say, Redmond's did an exceptional job in getting the vehicle out, getting it over to shore, getting it lifted up on shore, re-rigging everything to get it lifted onto the tow truck. There was like some mud and things like that came out of the vehicle. The crime scene techs for Elgin Police Department are rock stars. Absolute rock stars. They made sure that every little drop of water, mud, anything that fell out of that car got put into a bucket so it could be, sifted through, gone through. They were incredible. They missed nothing. We went back to where her vehicle was pulled out yesterday, and other than the grass on the bank being a little folded over, you would have never known. They were incredible. That night, the coroner's office, they took control of the vehicle, or took custody of the vehicle. It went straight to their facility where they began their assessment, painstakingly digging through every single thing. They were able to find remains. All of that right now is being processed. They're hoping to identify with dental records, if not DNA. So this process could happen today. This process could happen in a couple of weeks.
We'll let everyone know on the Facebook channel.
Yeah, we'll update everybody. In my heart, I can say that, I do feel like it is Karen. I think Jacob agrees in that sentiment. But again, until all of the identification comes out and it's for sure, it's a certain thing, I'm not going to speak on anyone else's behalf. It was definitely an overwhelming few days. And today was probably the hardest day. On scene when the car was being removed was Karen's youngest sister. So it was really incredible to be able to meet her, speak with her. It was only for a brief moment, but I'm grateful for that time that I got with her. Today, we were actually supposed to leave last night. You guys know I don't believe in coincidences, so we got stuck in Elgin, Illinois last night. Something happened, so that kept us there. We were meant to stay because today we got the opportunity to meet with Karen's mother. Miss Liz is an absolute beautiful soul. She is amazing. She is 90 years old. So for the last 42 years, she has had to wonder where her daughter is. And now she gets to know. To be able to look her in the eyes and to tell her, you know, one, obviously we wanted to offer our condolences to her and her family, but to be able to thank her in person for allowing us to be, you know, just this small part of their journey was absolutely amazing. To be able to tell her that 42 years, even after her daughter has passed, to tell her how incredible her daughter is, to show her how many people came together because of her daughter and to give her answers. It was amazing. It was absolutely amazing. So right now, our biggest thing is just kind of waiting for that confirmation. Again, I feel, and Jacob feels like it is Karen. You just get that feeling. You just kind of know sometimes. So again, they're going through everything. I really can't say thank you enough to the Elgin Police Department. Everyone from their chief to their patrolman made sure that everything we needed was taken care of. They had somebody sitting at the Slade boat ramp all night long because we did not want to take the marker off of the car. They had somebody sit with our boat that same on Monday night as well at the dock because a bunk had broken on the trailer. They made sure that there was a patrolman watching our boat all night long. The chief, Chief Analali, was amazing. Absolutely sensational. I have no doubt that the reason that at least the law enforcement that we worked with, that they are incredible because they have incredible leadership. Again, everybody from the chief to the patrolman, no one at any point in time, there was never an I or a me. It was we, team, how can I help? What can I do? There was never anything like, well, I think this, or it was never like that. So the Elgin Police Department, especially the cold case unit, newly formed, Detectives Houghton and Detective Vartanian, if they called me right now and said, hey, we need help, we're going. I feel strongly about them, just like we do, our relationship with Jefferson County, Ohio, Lowndes County, Mississippi. They're amazing.
They're family.
And then the Elgin Fire Department for everything that they provided, the divers, the boat, same thing. How can we help? What can we do? The Redmond's Towing was exceptional. When we said we need the biggest truck you got, he said done. There was no, well, let's try it with a little. No, it was, you have the best of everything that I have to offer. Never questioned anything. Never, this is what I have. It's yours.
Offered us lift bags.
Yeah.
Fire department gave us jackets.
Do you need my lift bags? Do you need my slings, chains, hooks, whatever you guys need is yours. And then the Kane County Coroner. That was a really amazing thing to see, the coroner and the different agents that she had with her. She was down on the ground in the mud and the muck when that car came out of the water. It wasn't like, oh, let me stand back here and you guys take pictures. No, she was in there just like the crime scene techs were. They were with us, I believe, the first day. They were with us the next morning. They were with us that evening. I mean, and like I said, they made sure that everything was collected. So we're just waiting for, that confirmation. But we wanted to bring this information to you. We have had a few people ask, like, where's the video? It's going to take at least a week or so, week and a half, to be able to get back, decompress, get everything uploaded, get everything edited. And as you guys know, we try to do this in the most respectful way possible for the family. We want to make sure that Karen is shown in the light that she deserves. So I do want to say I apologize because I did not read the chat at all. I want to make sure that I got everything out. I think that's everything.
I have thrown her to the wolves for the past 3 days. I am not a public speaker, and Lindsay has done a phenomenal job with NBC, ABC. There was NBC, was it ABC news or broadcast? No, WGN radio station. She went live on that. If you guys want to check it out, she did an amazing job. I'm super proud of her and how she did. We've worked on so many cases, and we've been a part of being able to bring missing people home. But this one, again, like, I really hope Liz understands how amazing her daughter was in bringing so many different people together into this big, beautiful collaboration to bring her home. Every news channel was out there. I think I woke up Tuesday morning and there was so much out there, and we're seeing our name and our face everywhere, and it's still kind of like taking in the gravity of how big this really is, to be able to do this. There's still so many times where I'm like, I'm so thankful to be able to bring someone home, but you don't always understand the impact that you have. Karen's case has definitely done that for me. We're going to revert back a little bit to the pulling process of the vehicle. When we did the other assessment, which Mike McFerrin from the Mid-Missouri Dive Team, he went around and made sure everything was going to be intact and if all the windows were up. We also used an airbag in the back to secure everything. We took every single step to make it a caution. Thank you. Precaution.
Is that the word you're looking for?
Yes, thank you. Thank you. And to ensure a solid pool without any evidence being lost. We successfully did that. I am super proud of how Mike McFerrin dove. I do know that he, at Lake of the Ozarks, he also has like this recovery group that he owns. It's called Max Diving LLC, and that's MACSDIVING LLC. If you guys ever have anything lost at the Lake of the Ozarks, please reach out to him because he has done us a phenomenal job. I love that man to death, and I'm glad he's a part of the team.
Well, and I'm super thankful because every time Mike's with us, like, I get the opportunity to learn something. Mike is an instructor. What are they called? Scuba Adventure, I believe. Mike is a PADI instructor, but I get to kind of learn something from him each time that he's with us. Scuba Adventure actually does train out of Mermet Springs.
Yes.
They're a company that contracts, to bring their divers down. So it's been cool because my brother actually got to do his try scuba with Mike after we met Mike. So it was really cool to not just to get to see Mike in this in this light and this facet of what he does in this recovery process, but to also get to see him doing another side of what he loves, which is, you know, being an instructor and teaching. And it was really cool to be able to see that. So again, I do apologize, I haven't watched the chat, but we wanted to make sure that we got everything out that we could.
I do want to get Mike on at a separate time so we can really highlight the man that he is and the person. He's got a huge heart. I have put him in 42,000 CFS on the front of my boat to actually search on a car. Dude is a beast. So I want to really focus on him. So we will have him on our channel at a later time. But the main focus is to tell you guys that Karen's vehicle and the potential of Karen being home, we accomplished that. And it was because of you guys that we were able to do this. So thank you. There's not enough thanks to even say.
There really isn't. Like there just really isn't. I mean, to be able to go through and like thank each person or try to show them how much, like, from all of you guys who support us, just being here and supporting us, really, none of this happens without you. But from you guys all the way to Karen's family, to everyone that we worked with over the last few days, Mike Goff is the one who actually, he's a retired Elgin Police Department. You'll actually see him on our video once we get it out. But Mike Goff is actually the one who reached out to us and got us in contact with the cold case unit. The cold case unit, again, this was their very first case that they took on. They started the cold case unit again in May. They really dug into Karen's case in November. So here we are in April, not even April yet, still in March. I know that, you know, they're taking the next few days to go over everything, to debrief, to do all of that. And they were already talking about what's going to be our next case. Where are we going to help next? That department truly does encompass everything that law enforcement should. They want to do this because they want to help the people who can't help themselves or who can't get help for themselves. They really, and that comes from, again, the chief all the way down.
I was informed today that Chief Nally, right? Lally. Who's Chief Nally? I know a Chief Nally. Chief Lally, before she was a chief, you know, there was always this want to be a cold case, involved in cold cases and trying to solve the missing from, you know, years and years ago. And she always had a very warm heart. And when she became a chief, immediately got on it and got those two detectives. Now they're trying to reach out and trying to expand the podcast for everybody to listen to. And again, that podcast is Somebody Knows Something.
Yeah. Even knowing that Karen's case is solved, I highly recommend that you guys listen to it. Each episode is anywhere from like 18 to 30 minutes. You know, it's stuff you can just turn on and listen to. I think there's 7 or 8 episodes right now, but it's something that you could even turn on to like while you're, you know, cooking dinner or, you know, just kind of getting ready in the morning, anything like that. Just because I want you guys to understand these two detectives, Andrew and Matt, like, they were never closed off to any theory. They looked at every single possibility. They looked at every single person. They kept their minds really truly wrapped around Karen and not just one single thing that could have happened to Karen. It was very all-encompassing. They released information that hadn't been released before. So it was I want to say it was Monday. While we were on the boat, they were getting tips about Karen's case. So again, and it's because of that podcast. So I want you guys to kind of understand them. So.
Your mother said she's so proud of you. Your dad's on here too. He said, "Ha." H.A.
Oh, hi, Dad. Hi, Mom.
It's been 30 minutes. We're pretty well finished with all the details. I will let you guys know. I will be working hard to make sure that Karen's story gets told to the best respectful way, and for the best for you guys to understand what we went through and what the detectives went through. It's just going to be, you have to give me some time on it. I will have it out for you guys, but currently right now, I'm going to probably about 15 minutes for questions, and then we got to go get gas because we're still in Champaign. And
Hi, Buggy.
I may or may not have filled my belly before we started this live stream, so I haven't eaten all day. But regardless, we got to get gas and got to head on out. So if you have any,
give me just a moment and I'll put it up.
If you have any questions, please put QQQ in the front. We'll try to answer as many questions as we can with the time we have. I was hungry, Kyle. Ginger Moore says, Lindsay, you have packages at the home. Ginger, we usually do like an unboxing on our Thursday night live stream. This is obviously not a live stream for that, but let me let you guys know about Ginger. Ginger went on our Amazon wish list and she just annihilated it. She supported us big time. I just want to say thank you for that, and I'm not saying, anything about anybody else, because it's amazing that you guys even think about doing that for us. So to be able to help and support what it is that we do, just watch the videos, share it with your friends, tell your family. We want to get this out to be able to help them. So
yeah, so basically what we'll do is, instead of our typical Thursday night live stream, we'll kind of just roll all of that stuff in the next week. And then we wanted to utilize tonight, and it just kind of worked out that we were able to get this information out to you guys tonight. I did put that, I put the podcast link, I just put it in there. But what I will do is I will also go into the live stream afterwards and put it at the top of the description. So that way you guys, have it, it'll be accessible. So the link is in here, but you'll also still have it in the description as well. So you guys won't have to dig through the comments later on.
I do have to keep editing, Peter. And also there was a question on here. Is it believed to be an accident? Lindsay can answer that here in a second. Could you all use netting with magnets to hold remains in vehicles? Absolutely. We did have a canvas. The only window that was broken was a back hatch.
So as far as the netting is concerned, it really depends on the vehicle and how it's positioned. In Karen's case, it was not going to be feasible because the car would have had to have been drug on top of it, and it could have potentially popped off. But we have used it in the past.
Yes.
Brian and Joni, we used it with them. So we have used netting and tarps and stuff in the past. So do we believe it is an accident? Again, and I want everybody to understand this.
We're putting a disclaimer out.
This is the opinion of myself, I think Jacob, myself only. This is not on behalf of law enforcement, fire department, coroner, family. I will not speak on their behalf. In my opinion, and my opinion only, I do believe from everything that we've experienced in the past and then experienced with Karen's case, I do believe that this was an accident. Now, could that information change? Absolutely. Again, that is only on me and my own opinion.
And I do agree with her. Thank you, Kelly, for working with Redmond's. Redmond's, you guys did an amazing job. I would say anything that needed to be pulled out, from little to semis, he's going to have something to get the vehicle upright and out.
I would say that in all of the vehicles that we have removed, this is probably the first time that the actual pulling process was a shorter process than the hookup process. Normally the hookup process is very quick, and the pulling process is what takes time. With this one, it was the opposite, and by no means was like the hookup process slow. It was meticulous. It was make sure that every connection on that vehicle is solid, isn't going anywhere. We hooked up extra tires and wheels under the water just because we knew that we were going to be connecting later on. There were several assessments done on the vehicle. There was an airbag inserted into the vehicle. This was probably one of the first times that I can remember that our hookup process took longer than the pull process. Again, I'm not saying anything negative at all. I'm saying, like, normally we're pretty quick to be like, yep, done, and it's done. But again, with Karen's vehicle, what's going to happen when we start to move the vehicle?
Being 42 years. Yeah,
what's going to happen once, it starts to reach the surface? So again, we wanted to make sure that we were as careful as possible. We wanted to make sure that in the event that when the car was being pulled, that we had a backup plan in place, like if the cable snapped, if something came undone, everything was already ready. Everything was already pre-rigged in the event that anything happened. So
there is also some, I read a comment earlier, why don't I dive? Why didn't I dive?
I didn't even see that comment.
It was way earlier. Why don't you and I dive anymore?
I'm not dry suit certified, so I can't get in the cold water. I'm also allergic to the cold.
I've never been dishonest with you guys. I've never lied to you guys. I was severely not scared, but I was worried that something would mess up. I wanted to make sure Lindsay and I were on the right page. I trusted Mike with all my heart that he would do the right things when he was down there, and I wanted to make sure that me and the chief of the dive team knew what was going on. Just wanted to make sure that we were thorough and meticulous, and we got the job done. But let me tell you, I was stressed out.
So Jacob, in a nice way, is trying to say he still has to captain the boat. There's still other things that have to be done. Yeah, he's trying to be nice. I'm not nice. We have these divers who want to come spend this time with us. We have these divers who are more than willing to offer their skill set to us. Mike has the most experience out of anybody, especially being on the Mid-Missouri dive team, or the Mid-Missouri Sheriff's dive team. Mike knows exactly what he's doing. This is not Mike's first time hooking up a vehicle, searching. This is not Mike's first time. And Mike's got more dives than any of us. Mike's got more dives in severe situations than any of us. So if we have somebody with that expert level that we know that we can put in the water and we can trust, and Jacob can remain on top, captain the boat, and be the communication between both teams, we're obviously going to let that happen.
Miss Deb Watson says she loves your hair.
Oh, you can thank my mother. She gave me a perm. It's coming out though, so I'm gonna have to take it out probably this weekend. But yeah,
we are not professionals in this, guys. Everybody says we're professionals and blah 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 blah. We are just two normal people trying to do the right thing and help families. That's it.
Well, and everything is a learning experience for us. Each time we get on the boat, we learn something new. Each time we dive, we learn something new. Each time we hook up a car, we learn something new.
Different divers.
Every time we do something, and I think that's the biggest. How do I want to say this? The only reason for success is your ability and your willingness to continue to learn. So in doing that, and always be, I mean, we still call Tammy
I do.
We do. We still call Tammy
I think
to
it's
say.
just because I want to listen to her.
But I'm saying, like, we still call Tammy to be like, hey, I have a question. If you have access to that kind of knowledge and experience, why would you not take advantage of it? And Tammy's always been incredibly gracious with her time and her knowledge and her information, and she's more than willing to help us out.
Thank you, Kyle.
So
Thank you, Tara.
I feel like if you're not willing to learn, then you probably need to go home.
You should not be in this type of job if you think you know it all. You just need to leave, because there's always something you can learn. And I learned a lot from this. I've been in situations where, we're trying to make sure everything stays good, and that's fine. But in this certain circumstance, it was something that I never dealt with. We dealt with a super, super, super old car. The contents, we did not know if they were in there or not. We wanted to make secured decisions, and we did it. It was successful, and everyone from the person who put the tape up to the family members of the missing, we have been open arms and listened to everything. So, okay, I think that's it.
Yeah, you did say you were going to give them time for questions, and then you kept talking.
I've been watching them.
Oh, okay.
I haven't seen any more questions go by. I have, but somebody said they liked my shirt.
Again, to the family of Karen, thank you so much for providing us this opportunity to, and allowing us to be even just a small part of your journey. It really does mean so, so much to us, and I can never express my gratitude for that. I can never express my condolences enough to you. I'm just hoping that in this, you've been able to, find some sort of answers, and, again, potentially begin that healing process now that you finally know. And to all of the multiple agencies in Elgin that we worked with, thank you to all of them for their hospitality, for their faith in our abilities. Thank you to all of them.
If you knew what I was doing, my beard's 6 inches. Somebody asked me how long my beard was, so I measured from here to here, and that's about 6 inches. So, you don't believe me? No, I get the tape measure.
We don't even have a tape measure.
I know exactly where it is.
Oh. So, we'll have the video out in the next probably week and a half. Lily said you're weird. That's Buggy.
Thanks, Lily. Love you too.
Yeah, so we'll have the video out in the next
week
I would
and a
say
half
by
somewhere.
by next weekend.
Yes. Why do you give me a deadline?
You're the one who always says 10 minutes.
Gary asked, and Gary said that something that he has all respect for us, but I think it's the other way around. Gary Long, we have utmost respect for you, but he did ask a question. How deep was the Fox River? On average, above I-90 was about
2 feet.
2 feet. Under and over by Slade, it goes from 4 to 10, back to 4.
It varies.
And
I think like Kimball Street is about a little less than 3 feet.
If I had to take an average, it'd be an average
probably 5 to 6.
about 5 to 6 feet.
Okay.
There's a lot more questions.
Yeah. Jacob said questions and then kept talking again.
You ever feel like a release when you find people like they know it? I'm thinking Do we have feelings when we find somebody? Absolutely. I think every time we find somebody, it's a different feeling.
Oh, how wide is the Fox River?
How wide is 200 feet?
Where she was at.
Where
and
she
then
was
there are spots where it like widens up even more than that. And then there's like a couple spots where it's a little bit narrower, but not much.
Most memorable dive. Samantha Hopper.
How do new startups get involved? It just depends on what, like if you're wanting to do sonar and diving, then obviously you need to be dive certified. Go get all of your classes that could pertain to this. Get your sonar, that kind of thing. The biggest thing that I have told people in the past is if you have a sonar, that's fantastic. And I am so grateful that there are more people who want to help. But go find 100 to 200 cars first in varying types of water, at, you know, various depths, various, like how long have they been in the water. Go find 100 to 200 cars before you go to help a family. Because if you have never found a car before, and then you go over a car and don't even realize it, and then you just told a family that that area was clear, then there's the potential that that area could not be searched again. So that's always my biggest thing is like we love that there's more people getting into this. The more people there are, the more people that come home. But know your equipment before you offer your help. You will never want to give false hope to a family in this situation.
There's several questions in there.
Yeah. How far down can you dive? I'm pretty sure I can dive 65 feet.
130 feet, but there's no...
Jacob's, yeah, 130.
There's no scuba police. Just as long as she's good. All right, Mike, you have a nice day. I appreciate you.
Oh, absolutely, Patrick. So I've always explained this as Patrick said, like, you know, it's a double-edged sword because, you know, you're happy and you're sad, you know, like this is the most heartbreaking feeling that you never want to give up. It is soul crushing to walk up to a family member and have to say, I'm so sorry. I just found your loved one, because I am literally sucking all of the hope out of their life that that loved one can ever come home. But at the same time, you've watched this physical weight be lifted off of them. You know that for the first time in days, weeks, months, years, decades, that they're going to go to bed tonight knowing for the very first time that where their loved one is. And that's an incredible feeling. It's an incredible feeling to be able to know that you provided some sort of answer or piece to their life. So it's the best way I've been able to describe it. It's a heartbreaking feeling, but you never want to give it up.
To bring Karen home with, I think she has 8 siblings and a mother who's waited 42 years for answers. We were able to finally know where her car is and potentially, as we think, you know, it's her, but you know, until they get the records back. But just to let a woman know that is in her 90s where her lost loved one is, it's a beautiful feeling. It really is.
Jim, I know you spoke on, you know, the post that was made. It's an extremely unfortunate circumstance. It really, truly is. I do know that responsibility and accountability has been taken, and I'm grateful for that. They were very transparent about everything that took place, and also how they've already put protocols in place to fix that, and then they're also reassessing everything currently to make sure that nothing like that ever happens again. However, and I told this to the family, I truly believe, I do not believe in coincidences. I don't. I believe that Karen was supposed to be found now with everyone who was involved at this point in time. This is when she was ready to come home. So while that's heartbreaking to know, that happened, and it's incredibly sad. I really do feel like this was supposed to happen in this moment.
And I feel the focus needs to stay on that she's been brought home. That is really something.
This is the oldest case that we have solved.
Braxton said, "Good job, Lindsay and Jacob."
I love that kid. Is this the oldest case we've worked?
It's not the oldest case we
It's not
worked.
the oldest case we've worked.
But it's the oldest case
It's the
we've
oldest
solved.
case that we've been a part of solving, yes.
How do y'all keep from crying? Carol, I did not remember. I had so much going on. I didn't remember the license plate. When Mike came up with the license plate, and I seen, who was it that ran from the back to the front?
Matt was already up front with you, and then
Andrew come up, and he said, "That's it." And I'm like, what do you mean that's it? I'm messing with the trolling motor. What do you mean that's it? He said, "We found her car." I may have had some tears in my eyes. Ain't gonna lie. Seeing all their hard work go into this one moment, it was something beautiful. And you guys will be able to see that. Now, I'm going to tell you, I wasn't the greatest cameraman because I was holding and trying to do a lot of things. So forgive me for that.
Melanator actually answered the question before I got a chance to, but she was 23 when she went missing.
Yes.
Somebody had asked that question.
Thunder asked Jacob.
Oh, what somebody said regards to your dad, and then somebody asked what was going on with your dad.
Dad has cirrhosis of the liver, but it's not very. It's controllable with medication, and he is doing 110% better than what he was. So thank you for asking. He's home now. He came home, I think, 2 days ago. I do know next week I'll be taking care of him while Mom works, and until we get things settled, he's doing okay. So thank you. That's it?
Well, there were a bunch of questions before, but I can't go back up that far. It won't let me.
5 more minutes. Question. Q. I mean, I can say that we're about to go and get on the road again. We still have like 3-hour drive, and I got to get fuel.
Questions. Accident would look like you drop off from a bridge or off a road. I believe it was off of the road, Duncan Avenue. So when Karen went missing, the river was at one of its highest recorded, if not highest recorded levels. It was during flood stages. It was very cold. It was raining and snowing. So that, and combined with she was out late, that road is not very well lit. Even now, it's not well lit. So I believe that it would have been off of one of the roads that would have either been off Duncan Avenue or come off of Duncan Avenue. And then, oh, sorry.
No,
wait.
What?
There was more questions. I scrolled up.
Okay, go ahead.
Was it buried in the mud very deep?
That's exactly the question I was going to answer.
Gary Long answered.
No, it was actually pretty settled on the top. I think the current and the bottom was super tough. There's not a lot of muck. It was pretty solid, and the car was laid on top. How did I get into this, or how did I know that this is what I wanted to do? When we pulled out Nathan Ashby, I spoke with the family. I was the first one to speak with them. They asked me, just different questions, and I answered. And, the rest of the family members hugged her, and I had to walk away. And it was the worst feeling of my life. But the next day I spoke with her. You could see the weight lifting off of her shoulders. And I immediately went to Team Waters and said, I want to do this for a living. I want to help these families. And that's basically how I knew that I was meant to do this. And Lindsay already was a ground searcher at the time. And she had the same passion. And she never even knew this existed. But now look at her. She pretty much runs ChaosDivers.
I seen rigging of airbags. Was that thrown out in raising the car? So the airbags that we utilized were never to lift the car. The airbags that we have are like 3 by 4 foot. So by the time they reach the surface, the car would still be on the ground. So the airbag that we used, and the reason that we utilized it, was actually for inside the car, and that was just to seal up the back window and use it for like containment purposes. And then so the airbags, that was very quickly, once we knew the depth, airbags were not an option.
Yeah.
Is it possible that cars can't be found anymore due to degradation, but also because they could be deeper under the silt already?
Depending on the alkalinity of the water, depending on the pH levels, the acidic waters, you know, can deteriorate a car faster. Current, I mean, there's a lot of different variations that could dilapidate a car quicker, and or the contents in the water. Yes, a vehicle could be buried and we will never find it. But
this does give me a lot of hope though for Harry Milligan, Tom Long. Like, those are our 2 oldest cases. You know, so that this gives me a lot of hope for those, and knowing that Karen's car could be found. I mean, she's missing for 42 years. Harry's been missing for 41 years. Tom Long, he's obviously been missing longer than that, but still, like, this gives me a lot of like renewed hope that
Jennifer's
we can go,
case too.
that we can go and, you know, still find these cars that are 40 plus years old. So, and then somebody had asked something else.
The Oregon recovery is the oldest recovery, and props to that guy. I don't know the circumstances with how he recovered or how they were able to find it, but that's amazing that they were able to recover him. Yes.
Michael, I think that would be something to find kind of your local team, and work with them on seeing, you know, what they can do, if that's a possibility. It would definitely have to be, you know, just getting in contact with them, seeing what's even available or possible.
There is a lot of people who ask, who have noticed the shirt and asked how to, and it wasn't on here, but we have several people who have asked how they can support us. Just go to ChaosDivers.com. You can check out all the avenues, and we also have those shirts available. But most importantly, please watch and share our videos. And that's it, guys. Thank you.
That's pretty much everything.
Awesome. Thank you for all your support. Hopefully we answered all your questions. And once again, from the city of Elgin, I'm just going to say that. From the city of Elgin, thank you. Thank you for allowing us to come into your town, your city. Beautiful city, by the way.
Yeah, a lot of history.
Absolutely gorgeous with the history. And thanks to all who was involved, and thanks to you guys. Karen Schepers' car and potentially remains were in the vehicle.
No.
Have been brought home. What?
Remains were in the vehicle, not potentially remain.
Potentially
Remains
be.
were in the vehicle. We have the hope that it is her.
Yes.
I didn't want it to get confused.
I understand.
Or misconstrued.
We will be helping Jennifer Wood and trying to find her grandpa in the summer. I've seen her up there saying that she has hopes that we can find her grandpa, and it gives hope with Karen's case. And you're absolutely right. Sorry, Terry.
Terry and TK were there.
Oh my God. TK Adventures with Bass Fishing with TK Heaven. One of my closest friends. You guys heard me talk about him. Heck of a man, was there for us through the whole time. Fixed my trailer while we were out in the water.
Him and Terry both.
I'm getting ready to say that. Terry Spitz also helped. She was there throughout the whole ordeal. Please, for the family and for Terry And for everyone who helped, let's flood the chat with a whole bunch of hearts. I love each and every one of you. Keep diving. It's not where to stop.
Love you. Bye.
I'll see you guys later. I'm talking about the other comments. I'm talking about just flood the hearts with, just keep flooding. Just keep flooding. Thank you to the family, and have a good day. There's a lot of hearts going on.
Yeah, there is.
That's what I like. See you, Kyle.